Hello everybody, this is a Doctor, and with me now is Typical Manga Fan, and today we're going to be doing our typical manga review of the newest chapter of One Piece. This chapter is 769, The Pirate Bellamy. And we start off with Jinbei swimming. As a shadow has disappeared toward the ocean floor, the culprit is underwater, as he goes, I guess, to go after the, whoever wrecked up the island earlier.
I wonder who it is. Maybe it's that guy who we saw last, who was the guy who turned to liquid. Maybe, who knows?
Well, it can't be a devil. It can't be a devil fruit user underwater.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, totally forgot that.
Also, we have a couple of fish there. I don't know if like the kissing gourami fish or something, like the same kind of fish that Kami is.
Yeah, I completely forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I know is that yeah, you're right. They can't be a devil fruit user because it's underwater. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
the only devil fruit user who can swim at all is Senor Pink, and even then he can't swim in water, I bet.
Yeah, which reminds me, what happened to the liquid guy? Did he just go away? I forgot. I remember he saved a grandma and then he went away, right?
Oh, I know you're talking about Koribo,
Yeah,
the swamp guy. Yeah. I don't remember it's Kuribo or Koribo, but I know who you mean. I think the story ended with him reuniting with his crew and then sailing off.
We totally forgot about that guy.
Yeah. Which is probably going to be he's the Buggy of the New World, basically.
It's kind of weird, yeah. Buggy being a Shichibukai is just a name, though. He's not actually that strong, though. The actual Buggy.
Well, yeah. Oh, by the way, I found it. Remember we were talking before about how there are only 6 or 7 of those guys right now? There are 7.
Oh, there are 7.
Yeah, like chapter 700 is described. Like you see like a roll call of 6, and then he sends below, and including the person I mentioned earlier, that's 7.
Oh, so they're making sure that we don't know who it is.
Yeah, which means it's probably gonna be either someone we know or someone surprising.
I don't know. I don't think there's anyone we could take seriously. Better not be Arlong. Better not be Arlong.
Yeah, that wouldn't work out well.
Well, I mean, Buggy was a surprise, but it made sense. People thought he was strong.
Yeah, we know Arlong is not. Or at least, I mean, at this point, Nami could take Arlong, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, also, page 4 on Manga Stream is like something you'll probably like.
Yeah, let me get there. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. That's the color picture of Corazon.
Corazon is such a cheesy, lovable guy.
Yeah. When he mentioned, I love the part where he's like, "We don't know where he is," and he shows up with his Jimmy peace signs. Here I am. And then they're just looking at him. We found him.
I had to ask myself, why couldn't he just been an only child? Why? I mean, like, wouldn't it be amazing if he was if this guy if he actually retained his celestial dragon position? You know, would he be any different? And could you imagine what he could do with all that power and money? Like,
yep,
the good he would do. I mean, it would be amazing. You just have to wonder, you know, like, what if this guy actually got that power but maintained his goodness? What could these guys do? You know, that's the thing. I think that's the problem here. They were good people, but they gave up their power. I think they should have kept it, but then done good with it, basically.
Right. That's not, like I said. But at the same time, we already knew that the father was very naive. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, like I said, we're back in the action here right now.
So yeah, Law strikes back at Doflamingo. Doflamingo gets hit, and this is like what, the second time?
Yeah, first or second time, I forget which, and then.
Well, second because he got hit by Luffy one time. Remember?
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if he got hit any more times after that. I forgot. Because it's mostly been blocking and counterattacking, and I don't know if any of those counted. So.
And also, like, Law's chopping up a chunk of the castle.
Yeah. Awesome. But here's the difference right here. This is one. It's not even. It is one page. Like, I'm on page 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 panels versus the 5 that I thought was a lot in Bleach.
Right.
There we go.
And each chapter has something happening too. Like, yeah. And Doflamingo's not surprised.
Yeah. No one tell me that Kubo worked as hard as Oda, because honestly, I think anyone with a brain could realize that this takes more work than that five panel page. One
thing though, the first panel where it says tact, Law's finger looks weird. It took me a while to realize it looks like I guess it's starting in one position and moving to the other. But it looks like he's got an extra finger and one of them is broken. Or no, or is that his thumb?
No, that it's just the side of his palm. That's what it is.
Okay, I'm looking at it now. I think that's his thumb, actually, with the D on it.
Wait, the D?
Like the letter D. He has the tattoos on his hand.
Oh, yeah, that's his thumb.
Yeah, it took me. Like I said, it looked like it was like a weird motion for his finger, but now I'm seeing that is actually his thumb.
Yeah, you count it. It makes sense. That's his thumb. There's the finger
Yeah.
pointed out, and then 1, 2, 3.
It's still drawn kind of weirdly though.
I think he just kind of made the angle look weird. I think Oda didn't do a good job on that, but whatever.
Yeah. We'll blame the assistant.
Yeah, whatever. I don't really even know what the assistant does in Oda's manga.
Yeah. So anyway, Law chopped up the building to kind of like send shrapnel at him. This is kind of like the trick that Luffy used against Lucci, isn't it? Like he threw a box at him and then like punched that box into pieces.
I don't remember much of the Lucci fight. Because that's when I started coming into the manga. So
okay.
I don't know much. I'm still at this little gap that I need to fill out. But yeah. He uses some type of, I forgot whose ability is that? The spider's web? Is that Doflamingo's ability? Yeah, it is. Spider's web.
Okay, so I was wrong about that. Yeah, he's spider webbing it to. He's like garroting it.
Yeah. Because of his strings, you know.
Yeah. I thought it was Law like chopping up for that, but that was my mistake. I misread that.
Yeah, so Doflamingo basically tops the building in a lot of pieces. And let's see here. He jumps up really high in the air. Law's like, what? And then Law he tries to do that move, I think, again by throwing something, you know. Oh no, he doesn't. He just tries to strike him from behind.
Yeah.
I think he just jumps up basically, or maybe he might have used his ability off screen.
Yeah, like there's like a little popping sound right there, and you see the lines are right around him too. Where he's saying shambles.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But this time Doflamingo's ready for it.
Yeah. Does he say shambles every time he switches?
That's the move for it. Yeah.
The
official one calls it Chambras, like Chambras.
Yeah.
So there's probably something to that.
Yeah. So he definitely switched. Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah. And so you get the little sound effect, little poppy sound next to him.
Yeah. So he attacks Doflamingo. Doflamingo blocks. He's like, yeah, you can't use the same trick on me, you know, over and over again like that.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Because Law. Law should have known that. There's no way it's gonna work twice. He even said that with the first move against with that Luffy used. Like, yeah, you basically use one of our best, you know, creative abilities, like the first opportunity we got. So it's not gonna work again. So
yeah, like I said, Doflamingo's got battle experience, and he's a tough little bastard too.
Yeah, so Doflamingo's basically like, yeah, you know what? You telling me about Kurozan was a bad move. You should have just left me and Kaido to fight against each other. And you know, there's basically says I'm a guy who's above you, but there's still different ways to destroy me or beat me. But you messed up by getting too personal about it.
Yep. And
it turns out that the document that that Law screwed up by giving to Virgo was about Dressrosa, basically.
Right. Which Law as a kid, which we know, but Law as a kid might not have realized at the time.
Well, we just found out today.
He mentioned it before. He mentioned it in the flashback.
Oh, really?
When Corazon was giving him the thing to Law in the first place, he said it's about a kingdom called Dressrosa.
Oh, okay. I might have forgotten that then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a reminder then. So basically says, yeah, you know, you basically screwed up Dressrosa. Thanks a lot, you know. But it turns out, but the Law basically gives a rebuttal saying, you know what? Did you think that would have really stopped you, man?
Yeah.
Even not really.
And here Doflamingo gets surprised because I think part of it is because he's trying to upset Law, and Law's just turning it back on him.
Yeah, I can see that's what I was gonna say too. He thought he was trying to basically guilt Law and then basically making Law give up on himself. But it's not working. Law's like, you know what? Screw you. No, that's not working on me. So, Law. So basically, let me go to the next page. And so basically, I guess Doflamingo was impressed by the fact that Law's keeping his basically staying calm. His composure. There we go. That's what I was looking for. His composure. And he's basically saying everything that Corazon did was all for naught. And then Law basically says, nope, everything that Corazon is trying to do, I will finish it off for him. And then Doflamingo's laughing, as always.
Yep. Let's
see. So basically, he says for every tragedy, every terror, the reality is simple. It's simply that they have already occurred. There's no changing that fact. And he basically says that, you know, because, you know, the fact that you ate the oppie, was it oppie moot? No.
The U.S. version uses op fruit as an operation.
Op, yeah. I know. I was thinking that, but I was like, how was the pun supposed to be? You know.
Well, it could just be operation.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like Appa, and it's like op. There we go. The op. Because I was thinking like Appa for operation too, but I was like, is it Appa?
And you keep saying it like that, I'm gonna end up thinking of a certain air bison, sky bison.
Appa, yeah. Appa. And the fact that you began to bear your fangs at me on Punk Hazard, even the fact that you're here right now.
Yeah, got log kind of an interesting little leg lock right there.
Yeah, and then he uses something called Jigsaw, which he basically cuts Law's arm off. So holy shit. Yeah.
Of course, like I said, with Law's powers, it's not going to be like a horrible inconvenience, but right now it is.
Well, what it comes down, I mean, Law's been taking a beating throughout the entire arc, so I mean, this is just cruel at this point.
Yeah.
And basically saying, I guess you were being influenced by another D, probably Luffy.
Yeah.
Well,
Luffy did kind of mess his plans up there. I mean, Luffy does not necessarily follow plans.
Yeah, and the fact that you came here too is an already immutable fact, and so I shall forgive you.
Oh.
And
I was gonna have a little detour, but it'll wait.
Okay. So he goes to the next chapter. He's like, just as I forgave my fallen brother with the embrace of death. So either he's making fun of the fact that he's basically killed his own family members, or maybe this is his sick. Maybe he actually believes this is forgiveness, and this is just his sick way of looking at it, basically.
Like
so
basically, as if sort of like execution as a way of like atoning for your crime.
Yeah, basically. And then in his mind, they're like he's made peace with them, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they somehow revive, that he'd be okay with them, something like that. I don't know. And so he's like, and he's gonna shoot him with a lead bullet, because it's fitting. And then we see Luffy uses jet Gatling, and I think that's and I think that we see the Bellamy from flying in. Oh no, that's not Bellamy. That's his clone.
It's Doffy's shadow clone.
Yeah. It's shadow clone jutsu type thing. Shadow Doffy, and then which is basically into a bunch of pieces, which I don't know how that happened, but yeah, he used that when Kyrill's chopped his head off, right?
Yeah, he's used it a few times, like right there, and also when he cornered him in that little tunnel below. Like when
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm surprised. Like, it's just like does that clone just fall into pieces like easily or something? Because I don't know.
It's probably not as powerful as the original at any rate, but still.
Or was it because he hit the roof or something, and then that's chopped him up? I don't know. Because the roof is, birdcage at this point.
Yep.
So blah blah blah. But he's like, Bellamy quit it. He's still fighting Bellamy. And he's basically like, hey, and Luffy's basically like, hey, look, Bellamy's gonna die if he keeps going at this. And then he basically takes the air away from Bellamy, or he lets
No, it's like, so you're still wasting air down there, huh? Like you're still breathing.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, why the hell not? So what did he do? He let him go?
Yeah, he just released his power over him.
Oh, okay, that's what I was thinking, yeah. That's pretty much what I was saying. So, what is it? So that's more than enough, Bellamy. I'll set you free as you used to be. And then we get a little flashback. Bellamy basically saying, hey, notice us. We're going to impress you. We want to be pirates.
Yeah,
right?
They're saying their town is called Notice.
Oh yeah, but I think that. But they basically are saying notice us, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're basically doing. And I think that's the funny part. But I think maybe that's a pun. I don't know. And he said he wants to become a pirate. And then Doflamingo's like, okay, I'll give you a symbol, but if you lose, you gotta give it back. Which is probably what happened when he lost to Luffy.
Right, because he had that symbol up until that.
Yeah, did we see him what was that symbol from? Like,
I don't know. It's like it was a symbol of Doflamingo. We also saw look at the auction house.
Yeah,
but basically, like it's like he does talk about the fact that Bellamy disgraced the symbol.
Yeah. Anyway, so he lost, and Luffy's getting worried, and we get a flashback to basically their fight against each other, and how basically Bellamy's changed. Hell, even Luffy says that, and then we get flashbacks of Bellamy throughout this arc, and about how he's trying to win his way back, but it turns out that Doflamingo doesn't give a shit about him.
And Dellinger pretty much was going to kill him before he even did the assassination.
Yeah, which shows you either Bellamy's hella weak compared to everyone else, or I don't know. Like, I mean, I know Dellinger's an officer, but I didn't know he was that strong.
Well, we've been seeing him kick plenty of ass right now, so we know he's tough.
Yeah, but
and And he's been with the Doflamingo Curse since he was a baby, so he's not exactly going to be weak in that case either.
He's not weak, but I mean, I'm just like, if you're gonna be able to kill off Bellamy, even though because didn't Bellamy get like really strong after that after a while?
He put in a good show during the tournament.
What was his bounty now? It's like it got a lot higher. Got over like $1 million. I think it's like 130 million, 140 million, or something like that.
I forget what they said on there. I don't know the bounties too well.
Anyway, so he's like, why are you worried? I'm worried about Traffy, and I gotta get up there, blah blah blah. And he's like, I'll basically give Mingo 1 or 2 for you, basically. And then, hey, it turns, we see his Bellamy's spring ability.
Yep, the same one he used back in Mocktown.
Yep, Spring Hopper. And apparently this is a lot more powerful than last time.
Oh yeah, because you can see just the damage it's doing just in that there. Plus it's a confined space, which is probably even better for it.
Yeah, but we all know that Luffy's just gonna punch him again, probably. Because honestly, Luffy's stronger too.
Right, but this time he doesn't actually have a grudge against Bellamy, though.
Probably, but I'm sure Luffy knows he probably has to do what he has to do.
Yeah.
At least disable, or I mean, this is probably just disable him or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, and basically, I'm not sure. Here's the problem. I'm not really a big fan of this type of thinking, where what happens is that Bellamy admits that he knows that he knows that Doflamingo is the wrong person he chose, but because he already chose, so he doesn't switch, so he can't switch the person he's loyal to.
He'd even cry when he says it.
Yeah, so basically he has to go through. For his honor. Go through with basically his loyalty of the man he has admired for.
Right. Well, Jinbei was kind of the same way as well. Like he wasn't necessarily going to just go and break ties with Big Mom or something like that. He has to make, or at least not lightly. He has to make sure everything's ready to go first. So that's kind of what Billy's doing here. He's not going to just break ties with Doflamingo like that.
Yeah, but I mean, this is his chance if he's going to do it ever at all. And this, I mean. The problem is, I think, so he's basically, join me in this fight, and I will basically, he wants to finish it, and I think he knows he's gonna lose, but I think he just wants to going out so that he doesn't want to be a turncoat. That's what basically is. He knows that what he's doing is wrong, but I think to him, being a turncoat is the most important thing. He doesn't want to be, basically.
Yeah, like he wants to remain loyal to his own ideals, if nothing else.
Yeah, but in my opinion, if a guy is that shitty to you, I think being a turncoat is warranted. Maybe he sees it obviously differently, but for me, I mean, like, if a guy, I don't like turncoats too, which is why I don't like Krista from Attack on Titan, and
right.
or the other person, I won't say who it is, but I don't like turncoats very much, and so I can see what he's saying, but at the same time, if the guy is that much of a dick to you, I think he has the right to do it. I wouldn't blame him if he did. So I hopefully, this is a resolve a friend rises block his path. So basically, this is just his resolution.
Actually, I just thought of someone else who's kind of got a similar thinking to Bellamy here. You probably don't, if you only haven't seen it early, so you probably won't know him. But did you watch or read the Baratie arc where Sanji was introduced?
I saw the 4K version.
Okay, in that case, I'm thinking of Gin.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I remember. I didn't like that either. See, that guy annoyed me. That's the problem. I get it. You don't want to commit a mutiny, but when I forgot. When it comes to government, and then when it comes to captaincy, and this is allowed. This is legal. If the captain is not, if it's considered, unworthy to lead or something like that, or not fit to be in that position, then you are allowed to take over. This happens in government too. If the government turns on the citizens, then you have the moral right, and you have every reason to fight against the government and turn your back if the government turns on you. So in my opinion, these guys, as much as I applaud their sense of, I guess, nobility, it's wrong, because when someone turns on you like that, you basically get the right, and every right in turning your back on him. Because if he turns his back on you first, then games, everything, everything's off basically. So that's why that's I guess that's why I'm not a big fan of this last page. Just because I have a different way of looking at it, and
you can still sympathize with Bellamy a little bit though. Like, you can see where he's coming from.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I have to like it.
No, but still, I mean, of course. That's the thing, though. We don't have to necessarily like it, but at least, even Bellamy's doesn't necessarily like it.
Then don't do it.
But if he's not, he wouldn't be Bellamy. That's kind of where I think where he's coming from, right? Like this is something you can probably maybe mention. I don't know. I don't know if I can really see Luffy doing this, but like I said, it's the same kind of level of loyalty. It's just that he doesn't have someone that it's really worth being loyal to, but he just doesn't feel it's right to dishonor that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, again, as I've already told why I disagree with that is because the whole moral about government and leaders protecting you. If they're not fit to lead, then you have your right to turn your back on them.
Yeah.
It is legally allowed. Just gonna put that out there. If you like in a ship or something like a crew, if your captain's unfit to lead, then you have the right to basically take away his power. We as people have that right, even though we may not think we do. We do have that right. If so yeah, I don't know. That other guy, yeah, I didn't like that either. And plus, I'm sure the 4Kids dub didn't really make it any better.
Nah.
So I was not a big fan of that. So yeah, you know what? Here's the problem. You say he wouldn't be Bellamy. You say he wouldn't be Bellamy because of that, right? If he decided to turncoat.
At the very least, he might not feel that way.
Well, I mean, he's changed, right? So why not be a little more radical and change yourself? You won't be the Bellamy, but you know what? Who wants that Bellamy, right?
The whole point of changing like that, though, is to be true to yourself. That's what he's trying to do in the way he can. I mean, it may not necessarily be the smart thing to be doing right now, but still. I mean,
so let me say this. So once Luffy take care of him and let's say that they beat Doflamingo and they should, what happens to Bellamy?
I think then he might be okay with breaking ties, but just because at that point Doflamingo is beaten, or at least no longer a factor. But as long as Doflamingo is there, as long as Doflamingo is his leader, he's going to serve.
Okay, so it's basically a weird sense of chivalry.
Yeah, that'd probably be the way to put it.
Actually, that's what happened with in Power Rangers. Actually, where the leaders actually turned on. They went. Like one of them like Lost Galaxy. One of them became good. Basically, like he realized, hey, you know what? Killing people is not a good thing. But he wouldn't fight the leader because he basically pledged his loyalty. So he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna fight you, but at the same time, well, I'm not gonna follow your orders anymore. Yeah. Like it's that weird thing. And he basically dies.
And there's also a case of there is a whole trope of this on TV tropes, like my master, right or wrong.
Yeah.
Or sort of that situation.
Yeah.
Where you would serve someone even though it's not necessarily like the wise or smart thing to be doing.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much what we're talking. This is pretty much Bellamy at this point. So hopefully Luffy takes care. I don't want this to drag on too much long because there's so many fights going on, and as much as I like One Piece, it is kind of dragging a little bit now.
A little bit there. I didn't realize just how much was left undone when the flashback came over.
Yeah, I remember just groaning. I'm like, man, that's like there's like 6 fights left at least. Man, and they're big fights, so they're not going to finish easily. So I mean, I'd love to see Bartolomeo, whatever his name is. Shield guy. So, what's his name again?
Wait, who's it again?
Bartolomeo.
Bartolomeo, yeah.
Yeah, Bartolomeo. Yeah, I want to see his fight, but other than that, it's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. I don't want to see Pika Zoro. I know Zoro's going to win that.
I kind of want to see what happens with Kairos. Like, will Rebecca join the fight as well, or?
That's a big one. Basically, anything with the executives is fine. It's with the officers, kind of like, I don't give a shit anymore.
Well, Pika's an executive.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Zoro. I mean, but of the executives, that's the most boring fight to me.
Okay.
But like, I'm okay with that. I'm just saying, like, if of all the executives and officers, the executives are the most interesting because of them being executives basically. But of the executives, Zoro and Pika are the most boring in my opinion. Who are the other executives? It's just Treble and Diamante, right?
Yeah, Treble, Diamante, and Pika are the executives or supreme officers. Then you have like everyone else under one of them.
Yeah, so basically just those fights I give a shit about. Everyone else I don't. Oh, and Bartolomeo's, but that's because of his character.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm just kind of like whatever, just finish the damn fight off screen. So yeah, I think that's about it for this chapter for me.
Yeah, like I said it's oddly enough we had more to say about Bleach this time than One Piece, but again they're both fighting chapters, and we are getting some action on here, but.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all about consistency. I mean, occasionally you'll find those weird moments where you do have a better chapter in one manga than the other, but it's about consistency. So as long as One Piece keeps up its consistency, who gives a shit about whether this chapter for Bleach was good or not? I mean, in the end, One Piece is about a better manga, and I don't give a shit anyone who disagrees because I've basically said what I needed to say about Bleach. And at a certain point, it just gets so obvious that even if you don't see it, you basically there's no point, Yeah. So.
Also, one thing I did notice here though, go back to page 16 where we're seeing like Bellamy's little quick flashback. And like he's talking about, yeah, like he's taking out her board of damn town. They want to be part of the Don Quixote family.
Yeah.
But Doflamingo's just sitting there like just quietly.
Yeah.
Right before all this happened, like he's telling Bellamy that from the very beginning, he and Bellamy were after completely different things, and this is kind of like the sign of that.
Yeah.
He just pretty much just says, "Okay, fine, I'll give you something, but if you lose, you're giving it back." He probably didn't expect much to come out of that one way or the other. It sounds like
he probably just tried to do it to get him shut up, basically.
Yeah.
Shut up! I'll be nice and give you something, but you know what? And he kind of did set himself up for kind of. He gave him dreams. That's the thing.
Which is actually very ironic when you stop and think about it.
Yeah.
Given Bellamy.
Yeah, but he didn't give a shit, and that's the thing. Like it's kind of like Shanks with Luffy, but Shanks actually gave a damn about Luffy.
Yeah, and I think that's like the whole like little parallel we've got going on here with this, with Bellamy and Luffy.
Luffy chose the right man to admire.
Yep.
Shanks. So. Yep. There we go.
Yep. Alright, so like I said, we'll just see how this goes here. Like, I'm wondering how Luffy will cope with the Spring Copper. Like, will it be another one-hit KO like before? I kind of hope not, just because I think at this point Bellamy deserves better.
Yeah.
And I love the first fight with him because that's pretty much Bellamy was nothing next to Luffy at that point, and like that's exactly how that fight went down. But I love that fight so much I accidentally overhyped it to a friend and kind of made him disappointed by it. So.
That's why you don't do that. This is why I know. Like, something like Cowboy Bebop, you gotta be like, okay, it's a good show. Just see what you like it. Like that's what I tried to do to get my friend to Attack on Titan. I was like, it's a good show. Just watch it though. I won't tell you anything other than that. Oh, and there's one guy who says Doflamingo tries to deny Law's right to bear arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do this screechy yeah like that, but
yeah.
It's basically like CSI. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he does the glasses thing too.
Yeah.
Man, these guys, the comment section gets really weird with their puns.
Doflamingo says, "Give me a hand." Law says, "Which one?"
Yeah, but this is a guy who can remove his heart from his body. He's had his heart crushed. Okay, he can survive this.
Yeah.
If you think about it, that's actually pretty crazy. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's about it for today.
Yep. Here. Oh wait, hang on. Here's something that's actually just because it goes to an author I like. One of the comments on here is like, "Doffy loves the cause suffering," and there's a Terry Pratchett quote on it, like the Discworld series. It's one of my favorite authors, and then one of my favorite quotes as well. It's like, "If you have to look along the shaft of an arrow from the wrong end, if a man has you entirely at his mercy, then hope like hell that man is an evil man, because the evil like power over people. They want to see you in fear." They want you to know you're going to die, so they'll talk. They'll gloat. They'll watch you squirm. They'll put off the moment of murder like another man will put off a good cigar. So hope like hell your captor is an evil man. A good man will kill you with hardly a word.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. And that actually does happen in the course of the book. Like another character who's like one of the good guys, like enters the room, like sees the fight going on, and in the course of it just kills him quickly.
Hey, you know what I noticed? There's a guy who does a prediction. He says, you know what? Who best that Bellamy propels Luffy either intentionally or unintentionally, that Bellamy actually propels Luffy towards Doflamingo at high speed, so Luffy gets another clean shot of his face.
I could see that there, and I'd even like it if it were intentional, just because like he can't quite break his loyalty, but he knows it's wrong. So this is like his own little compromise, like when he told Luffy how to get out of the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Like I said, because he can't betray Doflamingo outright, but he still wants to like do something.
Oops! I actually set him up wars. Oh well, I don't know what's gonna happen. If he happens to hit Doflamingo, oh well.
It's up to him.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I'm reading your Terry Pratchett quote. Yeah, that's a good quote.
I liked it there. Like it's like that was from one of the first of his books I really read all the way through. So that's a good one. All right. So, yeah, I think at this point we're all good to go.
Yep.
And then, in that case, this has been our review of One Piece 769. Hope you guys all had enjoyed listening to us tonight. We'll see this out on. We'll get this out, and we'll have the next chapters up next week, and then we'll go over those guys again. Sorry, kind of fumbled on the ending there. But, you guys have a good night. Thanks for watching, and have a good week.
Bye!